So you can see this is our 14-year-old hibiscus plant, and as you would see, it has become quite tall, big, bushy, and almost like a small tree. And this makes it a perfect candidate for making air layering. So for air layering, we need to pick the right kind of branch. As you can see, the bush is going to have many branches, and some branches are too thin. As you can see, this particular branch is too thin, and some branches are too thick. As you can see, this particular branch is too thick. What we want to pick is a branch which is of a pencil size thickness, almost more than a little bit more than a pencil size thickness, and there should be good enough number of foliage, plenty of leaves on the top. Imagine what should be the ideal height of your plant that you should be having as a nursery plant, and that is the appropriate size of branch that you can pick. So this is one particular portion where there is no leaves. There could be this is a node and is the internode in between. So we need to pick a branch which is little bit woody and of a pencil size thick. So to accommodate our air layering guti, we need to clean that particular area. So if there are some additional branches which can be just cleaned off with the help of a sharp pair of scissors, we can just get rid of that. Okay, and so that that area is clean enough for us to do our guti. So we take a hand cutter as a tool, and we are going to use the sharp one to make the guti. So what we want to do now is we want to remove the bark up to that particular zone. Okay, so first we make a ring. So we cut only a bark, so we make a ring. Okay, so this ring should cut only up to the step of bark. Okay, we don't want to go all the way inside, only till whatever the bark which is the outer coat of the outer skin of the stem, only that cut all circle. Okay, so you want to make a complete circle of the ring from the bottom side and from the top side. So okay, so whatever woody portion is there, we cut that off. Now after making the two rings, we make a the top cut. Okay, so we make a cut right in the center, so that which meets all the way till the top, so that with our hand we should be able to remove that bark. As you can see, when with the help of knife, you can see that it opens up, so the bark can be removed, and the inner green tissue is revealed, as you can see here. So the green tissue, which is phloem, is revealed, and inner cambium is opened up. Okay, so we open the entire ring now. Now you can see that the whole tissue, inner tissue, is completely exposed. Okay, now what we want to do is we want to apply a rooting hormone, okay, on this exposed tissue. So this is a rooting hormone. You can take any organic rooting hormone. So this is a rooting hormone powder. If you don't have this powder, you can use cinnamon powder also, or you can use a bit of honey also. That also enhances the rooting. So with the help of painting brush, we apply the rooting hormone all over the exposed part. So we want to make sure that we dust it, and since the inner tissue is wet, this entire it will get stuck. Entire dusted rooting hormone will get stuck. Okay, this is enough, and any additional rooting hormone is there, you can just dust it off, and you will see that it has turned all white. Yes, so the rooting hormone has been applied. Now we take a bit of sphagnum moss. Okay, so this is a sphagnum moss, which is a dry moss. Okay, but we want to make sure that we make it wet. Okay, so we apply plenty of water on it. Okay, we spray plenty of water on it and make it wet. So you want to make sure that your moss is nice and wet. Now we apply this wet moss and the cover the whole wound. Okay, and then we want to make a nice round covering. We want to make sure that it covers the whole thing. Okay, completely covering the entire wound that we have just made. All right, yes. So we want to make a nice round covering. Yes. So we want to keep this moss holding the whole wound. So we take a transparent plastic strip and we cover the whole moss with this plastic strip. Okay, so that it will hold on to this moss for a long time, and because we use the plastic, it will hold on to the moisture which the moss is holding for a long time. Okay, so right from the base up to the top, we cover the whole assembly, the entire moss, with the plastic strip. Now we tie a rope around this plastic so that it stays for a long time. Okay, so we tie, first we tie on the top, and then we come down, and the tying is done at the bottom as well. You can do it multiple times, but make sure that it is nicely, plastic is properly being held, and you can just give it a knot. And with this, our air layering is done. This particular structure is called gutti. Now what we want to do is we want to make the incisions on the plastic, okay, so that we let the air pass. We don't want to stop the passage of oxygen. Okay, so we make the incisions so that there is aeration. And what we are encouraging with this is the moss, with the exposed wound, because of the covering with the moss, will start stimulating the roots. Okay, so the branch that we are having right now will start producing the roots, and we are expecting this particular branch to start giving out roots within 3 to 4 weeks. And because we have used the transparent plastic, you can actually see the roots coming. We can actually see the roots coming, and once the roots are formed, we can separate the gutti from the original plant right here. So we can give it a cut right here, and we can separate the gutti from the original plant, and we will have a brand new hibiscus plant. And this is a very efficient way of plant propagation. Similar to hibiscus, we can also propagate this tagar plant by the air layering method. And there are many other flowering shrubs that you can propagate with the help of air gutti layering. Now we are back to our hibiscus plant and our gutti after 45 days. And now let's see what's happening. Now here it's seemingly looking okay, just like it was done earlier. But underneath you can see that the roots have formed, and significantly large amount of roots have been formed right inside the moss. Okay, now once these roots are visible, you can see your gutti is successful and your layering is ready for the removal of the separation of this branch from the mother plant. So once the roots are formed, we start removing all the threads. We want to dismantle the gutti. We want to remove all the threading which was done. Want to remove the plastic which was used to cover up the whole moss. Yes, so the plastic is being removed, and you will see that the roots are there exposed. Now what we do is, here is our branch. So this is our plant, this is our leaf branch, this is our guti. So we separate this from the mother plant, and with the help of seccator we give it a cut, and the branch has been separated. And this guti, as you can see here, can be planted into the grow bag. Now we have taken the potting soil in this old grow bag. This is a combination of soil, coco peat and manure. You can take regular soil as well. And now we are ready to plant our separated, layered, rooted hibiscus branch into this grow bag. Now when you do that, you want to make sure you have to put the entire guti along with the moss, along with the roots. The whole thing should be put inside, and it can be further covered. You can add a bit more soil, and since in the layering the roots have already been formed, we don't want to wait for that plant to form further roots, because of the presence of soil, the roots are going to grow. What it means is that we already have a rooted hibiscus plant ready for transplantation. So for at least next couple of months, we'll let this plant grow in this poly bag, and then it can be planted in the pot or in the garden or wherever you want. And this is what we call the successful guti layering, also called as air layering plant propagation method.